Hello, my friend. What is going on? Today is Tuesday, August 23rd, 2011, and it's been a couple days since the last video, the last real video, and not much really went on over the weekend. No class on Saturday. It was kind of nice, kind of strange not having anything to really do, but it was nice to have some downtime because I know coming up pretty soon. It's going to be the work's going to be laying on pretty heavy with the labs and the lectures and the double class with the online everything. So I'm enjoying it while I can. And basically today I had class again. Obviously it was really nice to have class today because I was getting a bit restless with nothing to really do. And I'd kind of looked over my notes and everything for the weekend, and I read ahead. I read the chapters that we covered today in class, which is chapters 13 and 14 from the book. And we have a final. I have my final in behavioral science Thursday, which is the last day of behavioral science, actually. So moving right along, almost in month 3. Anyway. Yeah, so today in class was pretty good. Got there the first half. Let's see, what did we do? We did a lot of stuff today. It was still a short day, but we did a lot. And first and foremost, we went ahead and did the course critique. So basically what we did was we had to fill out a sheet and rate the class on a 1 to 5 scale, 5 being the best, 1 being obviously it sucked. And, there were a bunch of different categories, like, things such as the instructor was very knowledgeable in the subject area, and the instructor presented the subject material in a logical and easy-to-follow sequence, stuff like that. Just your typical, standard, normal critique little sheet kind of feedback stuff, because apparently they're getting ready to change behavioral science pretty drastically, not next month, but maybe the month after. So maybe towards October and November, Rain said that they're planning on totally revamping the behavioral science curriculum and course in general. So they were looking for as much feedback as possible, and basically the thing that everyone said they needed to change was lecture application 5, which was the rating each group member and answering all the questions and whatnot. And it really, honestly, the lecture application 5 was not that bad. It was just one of those, you had to sit and do it. It was legitimate homework, Yes, it made you think, and yes, you had to pay attention when your group was met up and everything, but that's stuff that I think you should do anyway in a professional setting, you know? So I wasn't complaining about it. Everyone else was. I don't really see. It was, mind you, of course, it was a pain to sit there and write for a couple hours that one night, but it wasn't anything. It was still less than, I had anticipated coming into college. Because college is supposed to be this big, bad, scary thing where you have, a paper that's supposed to be 10 pages long, and all that stereotypical stuff, not quite the case. It's still work. Don't get me wrong. You still have to pay attention and when you're to your group members, and you still have to retain information and remember things and details and stuff. But it's nothing that was really that difficult. But anyway, everyone was saying get rid of that. So I don't know what they're gonna do in the future for it, but I guess we'll see. And so, yeah, we did the critique, and then she had us get in our groups. So, of course, group 1 kind of gets sat together, and she said, come up with some things, answer some questions. And we had to answer things as a group, like what we would have done differently as a group, and, what do you think we excelled best at, and stuff like that as a collective group. And we had to write that down and turn that in. And then, as soon as we turned that in, she gave us our group grade back. So my group, which was group 1, we ended up doing very well. We got a 94, which is, I think, I want to say it's an A. It's not an A+. I think an A+ is a 96 and above. So we're really close to getting an A+ on this, but we still got an A regardless. A 94. It was really good. I'm happy with it. And she said, look over it. There's things that you think should be changed. Come and talk to me as an entire group and stuff. But We decided that we were happy with it. That, we only maybe would have gotten a point, if that, if we would have gone up and talked to her about the one or two things that we did notice. But the 94, I'm happy with. That's cool, because hopefully I can pull another 100 on this final exam, and that's going to be cool if I can pull that off. And it's really not that much material, but I just got to study. Tomorrow's going to be a study day. It's going to be very studious tomorrow. I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to make a nice juice or something with some oranges. Maybe just eat the oranges. I'm going to have a banana or two, because I've still got those green bananas. Those bananas were like way crazy young when I got them, and they're just now kind of starting to get to the yellow phase where they're delicious. So anyway, I'm going to get the brain going tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to hit it hard with the studying and the reading and the reviewing. And I'm probably not going to read through the chapters, but I'm definitely going to read through the PowerPoint slides or whatever it is, and the notes that I've taken off of those. So, and then I will go back and look in the book, but I'm not going to read the whole chapter, because there's a lot of extra stuff that's out there that's not going to be on the test. And I want to make sure I get a good grade, and at the same time understand the stuff. But I'm meeting that halfway. I'm kind of making sure that I get all the information that I need to get, as well as making sure I know exactly what I need to focus on. So point is, tomorrow's going to be a study day for all that. It's going good. Final should be awesome. 94, happy with that. So after we got done getting our group grades and discussing it and whatnot, basically that was it. We went on break, and she said that the second half of class today, because we usually have 2 parts to a lecture, she said the second half was optional. And the second half is what consisted of going over chapters 13 and 14. So she said if you feel like you would just want to study that stuff at home, and you feel like you can look at the notes and look at the slides, then don't worry about it if you don't want to. So, she gave us a good half-hour break or so. And I just stayed put, and I just kind of hung out, in the classroom and goofed around on the computer a little bit. I called my friend Mina, and we FaceTimed, and I had the iPad, and I was showing her around the classroom, so it was pretty cool. And anyway, so break went by pretty quick, and then we started up, and only, I think I counted, it was maybe 15 or 16 people out of a class of about 60 to 70 people stayed and actually went over the chapters and reviewed them with Rain. And not even reviewed, but like learned them for the first time. So I was really shocked at the amount of people that didn't show up, because the way I look at it, it's like, you're paying, like $75,000 to go to this school. Why would you not drain it for every bit of, information and knowledge and resources that it has? Because that's what I'm doing, and I'm getting a lot out of it. I can say that much. So I had already taken notes on chapters 13 and 14. I did that over the weekend. So for me, it was really just a review. For me, it was a review. For some people, they were learning this stuff, and that's cool. But I went ahead and did the stuff beforehand. So it was nice to actually get the lecture part for it, to really have someone speak it out and explain it. So that was cool. So while all this is going, we're hearing thunderclaps, and it's just crazy thunder. They're talking about Hurricane Irene and all this crazy stuff. It's off the coast of Florida, and I'm just thinking, sweet infant baby Jesus, please let it not rain. You know what I mean? Because I've got the bike. I ride my bike to school. I didn't have a plastic bag or anything for my computer in my backpack. And even if I would have, luckily it didn't rain too hard. But I wasn't going home anyway, but still, it would have been pretty bad if it had been raining. So anyway, we get done with that, and we got done around 3:45, which again, it's usually supposed to go until 5:15, so we got done an hour and a half early. But that was cool, because I went and hung out in FS3B, which is actually the lobby area of the main B section of Building 3. And I just hung out, and I FaceTimed Mina again and showed her around the building, because she's an online student. She was curious about what the campus is like, and she's a really, really, really good friend of mine. So I was like, why not? I'll give you a tour. And what's cool is I was able to do it because there's the wireless internet throughout the entire campus. Like, as long as you're inside of a building, you have internet access for the most part, as long as there's not too many people in the same area, which ended up kicking me off because I gave her a tour using the iPad and FaceTime around the building. And then as soon as I got back to the lobby area, I got booted off because there was a bunch of people there. And it was actually a bunch of the new kids coming in getting their lunchbox stuff. So they were all getting their computers and they were all turning them on all at the same time right there in the lobby area. So it was understandable, and a router can only handle so much bandwidth. But, so I got booted off and, I texted her and explained. And so after that, I ended up going to the library again. And I sat in the little egg chairs, which they're actually kind of comfortable. I didn't think they were going to be, but I really didn't sit in one the first time. This time I relaxed. I was sitting in the little chair. It's wobbly. It's really cool. Excuse me. And I read through some of my notes, and I got out the acoustic book here, and I read a couple pages in that. Then I started looking at the shelves, so I packed my bag and kind of set it next to the shelf, and I was looking, and I ended up coming across a bunch of manuals, like, how to, I don't know exactly what the word is, like, it's not coming to me, but I ended up finding a book that is really going to benefit me. Check this out. Yeah, I think it might be showing up backwards, but it's basically Logic Pro 9 and Logic Express 9 Apple Pro training book. So basically, obviously, I don't have Logic Express. I've got the full Logic Pro 9. And I saw the Logic Pro 6 book first, and I was like, hang on a second, what version do I have? So I turned on the computer real quick, and I opened up Logic, and I have version 9 point something. And I was looking along this row of books, and I was like, man, I hope they have the right book. And I was looking, and there was, Logic 6 is the one I saw first, and then I saw a book for Logic 7, and then Logic 8, and I didn't see one for 9. I was like, uh-oh. I kept looking along the shelf, and then BAM! I found it, and I was like, yes! That's what I'm talking about. Logic Pro 9. I'm going to be making some serious music, and the cool part is that I went to check it out, and I saw this thing in the back for a disc, and it says, disc is broken. I was like, that's kind of lame. And so, I didn't expect to get a disc. But when I went and checked it out, and I had to renew this book, and then I checked out this book, and they're both due in 2 more weeks. Anyway, I took the disc out earlier because I didn't want to break it, but to my surprise, whenever I checked it out, the guy was like, let me get you the disc. And so he pulls out this huge thing, and there's tons of discs. And he pulls this out, and I was like, word up, because this disc, along with this book, has lessons on it, lesson files. I don't know if you can see that. It says lesson files. It's got example files, music stuff. It's basically going to really help me out. My plan is to work through this book, and then hopefully I'll be really fluent with Logic Studio. That way I will definitely have a nice skill set to really make music, and not only make my music, but if other people need someone to help their stuff along, I can go up to them and say, hey, I'm pretty good with Logic, if you want any help with it, hit me up. So that's really cool. It's probably going to take me, and the cool thing about this book is that basically it has the different lessons and stuff, and like for lesson 1 here, it says, lesson 1, and it's got 2 little things. It says time and goals. And for the time, it says, this lesson takes approximately 120 minutes to complete. That is awesome. That way I can basically take this and I can schedule in a Logic lesson. Like, teaching myself how to do it. I can make a block and I can sit there and say, okay, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to go through this lesson and learn it. And then I'm also, obviously for the goals, I'm going to figure out what I'm doing. So the point of all this is that the Full Sail Library, if you're planning on coming here, the library is a very, very good resource for just about anything. They have all the books you would need and want to check out and read. And they even have DVDs. It's like a DVD store too, because like the guy in front of me in line was checking out Shaun of the Dead. I mean, come on. it's just, gosh, the library, I'm going to be in the library a lot because it's freaking sick nasty. They redesigned it. It looks awesome. There's tons of amazing books in there. It's just like a resource central. Like, you want to get good and at what you do here at Full Sail, you check out the library because this is the place to be. So props to the library and the library staff for hooking it up and redoing it all and getting it done by the time I got here, which is cool. So the library, man, it's just right on, you know. I'm digging it. And I'm excited about these books. And I've been reading on the psychoacoustic book. I'm getting about a third of the way through, if you can see that right there. So that's pretty cool. I'm learning lots. And it's more on the mathematical side of sound waves and music and stuff. But I like that stuff. You know, I'm all about figuring out music, about just how it sounds. But it's nice to have a background to know why and how it works. Because it's one thing to figure out, oh, that does work and that doesn't. But, you know, I kind of want to dig in a little deeper and really understand why, you know. It's interesting stuff to me. I love sound. And it's cool to learn that stuff. So, gosh, anyway, so I checked out the library, hung out there for a while. And then around 5 o'clock, 5:05-ish, I started to head back to FS3F, and I went into classroom 114 for the Student Success Seminar number 6. And, you know, mind you, I'd never been to one before, and I know you're allowed to go to them out of order. And basically what happens is there's 6 of them a month, I do believe, or something like that. There's a series of 6, and you have to go to 5 of the 6 in order to earn 10 GPA points. Note that not GPS points, GPA. So basically you complete this series and you get 10 points that you can stuff it in your pocket or you can use it right away. But basically use your 10 GPA points and you put it towards whatever class you want. So let's say you totally suck in your MIDI class, and like your MIDI class is just, you are lagging, you don't get it, and you do really bad. You can complete the series and put 10 points onto your final grade of your MIDI class. So it's not GPS points, but it's GPA points, and you can use it to help your you know, have a cushion on the class that you're not doing so hot in. So that was pretty cool, and we talked about what was the guy's name? Randy Posh. He was a professor or something like that at gosh, I can't even remember what school it was. It was a really prestigious school. But we watched a video clip of this guy's last lecture, and we talked about stuff, and we did an activity, and it really was just cool. It was awesome. I had a great time at the Student Success Seminar. You know, it was really well done. I enjoyed it. And I got my first seminar done and out of the way, so it was a really good day. And by that point, it was like maybe 7:15, and I got home around 7:30 or so, 7:45-ish. So I spent a good 6 or 7 hours at school today, which is what it's supposed to be. And I'm going to really start hanging out on campus a lot more. I'm really liking it. Just because, one, you're paying a bunch of money to go to this place, and two, it makes you really feel like you want to get stuff done and you want to hit it hard, you know. So tomorrow, like I said, the plan is to study. I'm going to do the first lesson in Logic Pro. I'm going to read 10 or so pages from this, and I'm going to study for a couple hours for the final. And then come Thursday, I'm going to kick butt on the final, you know, and it's going to be good. And I'm really coming close to 20 minutes. I really didn't think I'd have that much to talk about today, but it was a really good day. You know, I'm really thirsty now. I'm going to go get a drink of water here in a second, but at any rate, tomorrow I might make a video kind of going through Logic Studio, and I might do a screencast kind of thing, which will be kind of cool, so you can check out what's going on with the Logic Studio if you've never seen that. And as well as, you know, I'll let you know what I did for studying, and then Thursday there'll be a video. But I'm trying to keep it under 20 minutes, so thank you for watching. I'm going to keep the videos coming. Next week there's a holiday. I'll explain it tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Have a good day or night whenever you're viewing this, and I've really got to cut it short. I'm going to cut it right at 20 minutes. Hang on, so we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.